Good morning and welcome back to Ask Mason, our show that we do every 2 weeks that we take on different questions or different topics that's going on in the community, try to explain those in more detail. I want to remind you of our website that you can contact or shoot a question to askmason@enid.org. We'll do our very best to answer those questions. We'll never use your name, so you don't have to worry about that. And one thing that we're talking about today, I'm very fortunate. We've got our guest today is Rob Houston. Rob is the director of Visit Enid. And we were just sitting here before we started the show talking about, even as mayor, I didn't fully understand all the different things that Visit Enid is involved in. So I'm glad you're here this morning, and I really want to talk about some of those.
Okay.
But I want you to know what even kind of was in my thought process to bring you on. I was at a meeting, it's been a couple months ago, and one of the hospital administrators was giving us an update of the difficulty that they have when they try to hire staff, whether that's a doctor, whether that's RNs or different specialty people. And what they had noticed was once they've gone through the process of doing the online interviews and they do that whole deal and they invite them to come to Enid to actually have a face-to-face interview, the thing they've noticed is they've gone through every website out there. They've looked at the City of Enid, they've looked at the school websites, they've looked at the Visit Enid, and the comment that this person made was they know more about those websites than we do. And it just stuck in my brain, and I thought, why is that? So that was one reason I thought about bringing you on. And then I was getting a haircut one day, and we're talking about one of the concerts that were coming up. And one of the ladies that was cutting my hair, which is younger age, very understands technology, right? Had no idea we were having a concert. And I'm going, how can that be? How can that be? So for those reasons, I think it's important that the general public have a better understanding of what you and your team do. So would you just kind of start out on that? Now we'll just kind of go back and forth. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask, but I don't want to do all the talking. So Rob, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, well, basically, we kind of call ourselves a one-stop shop when it comes to all things Enid. We have a calendar that's online that lists all the different events that are going on. We have events already listed for next summer and even into next fall. So it's an opportunity for people to get a free listing on our website, which then is accessed by all the visitors that are coming this way, and it's also being used quite a bit by the locals because they want to know what's going on too. We've done a lot of shifting in our marketing to get more involved with locals. For the first 10, 12 years of our existence, all our money was spent outside of Garfield County trying to bring those visitors in. Now, while we're still doing a lot of that, we've also focused a lot of our marketing now toward in-house because quality of life is a very important part of why someone chooses a community to live in.
Yes.
So we need to let our locals know what's going on so they have a better understanding and a better feel for their community.
So Rob, if let's say a business is going to have an event at their business, how do they go about getting that listed? What do they do?
If it's an event for the public to have, all they need to do is they can go to our website, visitenid.org. They can go to our calendar page, and there's a place where they can submit a listing. You can do that, or sometimes it's easier for people to just fire off an email to either me or Megan, our services manager, and just say, hey, here's what we've got going on. The earlier you get that to us, the better. We always say if you have a date picked, but you don't know anything else, get that date to us.
Yes.
Because our calendar really serves two purposes. Number one, you get it on there, you get the word out. You can let us know information as it becomes available. But the other reason is there are other entities in town that are also planning their events, and they use our calendar to go on there and say, let's say we've got an August 10th event that we want to do. We can go to the calendar, we can look at August 10th, and we can see
what else is going
if
on.
we're going to compete against anybody else.
And there's no charge for that, right?
Absolutely not.
I mean, that is just a service that the city provides.
Yeah, absolutely. It's designed to just let people know what's happening, because we get enough benefit by people just seeing that and then coming to visit us.
I had the opportunity to do a lot of welcomes whenever groups come in. Just one recently I was at was the Kite Association, which is amazing. But whenever I went over there, I noticed that every single person had a bag that said Visit Enid on it, and they had some items down in that bag. So I'm assuming your group provided all that. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. When we have groups that come to town, we're kind of a concierge for that group. Their planner will come to us and say, here's how many people we have, here's the dates we're going to be here, here's what we'd like to do when we're here. Because you're going to have your conference, but then you're also going to have that time off, and they want to know what is there to do in your community for our folks that are attending, that when they're not at their meetings, or in the Kite Flyers case, flying their kites out behind Autry.
So what goes in those bags?
We usually put like a visitor guide, which is one of these right here. That's the official guide for the city of Enid that shows us, or tells all about our attractions, restaurants, things to do, that kind of thing. We usually put in a red carpet country guide. Red carpet country is one of the state tourism agencies. As the state's divided into 6 different tourism districts, and so red carpet country is north central and northwest Oklahoma, so we put that in there. We usually put some little goodies in there. We have like nail files, which I was amazed that guys love nail files just as much as women do, and found that out at one point when someone said, can I have a couple? I want to put them in my tackle box for when I go fishing. Cut the lines.
Absolutely.
So we do that, and some pins. Here's something new that we have just started doing. I think we did it first for the Kite Flyers. It is called an attendee discount card. And what that is we'll put this in their bag, and we'll tell them, put this in your badge. And then what it does on the back side, you won't be able to really see it with the reading on there, but we partner with a bunch of local businesses. We put their information on a separate page on our website, which is only accessible if they scan the QR code. And so they find out all the businesses, and those are offering discounts to our attendees while they are in Enid for that conference.
Excellent.
And that's been working out really well. We've done that for the Kite Flyers. We did it for the Grand National Quail Hunt and some others.
What would a business have to do to be a part of this?
Reach out, ask us.
Really?
Tell us what you'd like to provide, and we'll put it on there. And basically the attendees, we asked them to put those in the badges, because all they have to do to get that discount, show that card. Wow. That's their proof that they are eligible for these discounts.
Yes.
And that program, just in the few short months we've had that, has worked very well.
Great. Wanted to ask you also, I was at a meeting week and a half ago that you had actually arranged. It was with the Department of Commerce Film and Music group or department. I'm not sure what that was. Very interesting. These are the people that basically help encourage films to come and be filmed in Oklahoma, around the area. It also They have, I don't want to say subsidies, but they actually have tax credits that pay dollars back to those film companies come to different locations and film in Oklahoma. I learned that we were a certified film-friendly city. Am I saying that correctly?
Correct. Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit and why that's important to Enid?
It's just another way to let filmmakers know that these cities that they might be considering have already been vetted by the Film and Music Office. So, I mean, there's a directories list on the Film and Music website, and they see all these different locations. Well, if they click on one that's in Enid and they look at the NOC campus, maybe the Marshall Building, but they don't know what's in Enid. They don't know how generous Enid is to, attract films and to the film industry. So what the Film and Music Office did was they set out this film-friendly community program, and you follow there's a couple of regulations that you had to follow, and once you've done that and proven to them you've passed all their requirements, then on their website and also on our website we can say that Enid is a film-friendly community. That helps the filmmakers. Now they know they can go and they'll see Enid, and they've passed all the requirements that Film and Music has put out there for them. It's just an extra step that we've taken to make it easier for the filmmakers to make their decisions.
So I also learned that you're the contact, aren't you, on
Correct.
this, right? I mean, if film wants to come to Enid and they want to come in and look at some different locations. But I also learned that on that website, and you provided that to me, we have got a whole list of photographs all over Enid. And they're not all beautiful locations, are they? Because when you think about a film that's going to be shot, some of them are in a back alley. Some portions of them are in a rundown building. And so it's important that we capture all of that. And I found that very interesting as I scrolled down through and I looked at all that, because you first want to always put your best foot forward, but that's not always what they're looking for, is it?
Right. The two films that we had here, we had Wildlife they shot in 2016, and then To the Stars filmed in 2018. And then those two films actually debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, which was a very cool thing for Enid. But those were both time period pieces. They were both shot to be like they were in the 1960s. So the nice, pretty, modern buildings wouldn't appeal to those directors and those filmmakers. So you have to show everything in a community. And I've got a big list. I sent you that list. There's a whole bunch more that I want to get shot and add to that directory. It just takes some time. But I guess I would ask if you would like to be on that list. Maybe you have a cool home or something and you'd be interested. Just shoot me an email, rob@visitenid.org, and we'll make an attempt to get out, take a look. We'll take pictures in your home and then, put them on the list.
And then if a director selects that site, and it may not even be the site for the entire movie, it just might be one shot that they're looking for, but they pay well, is what I understand, to rent that home or that space, that building, so they can set up and shoot during that day. Benefits the city also because they bring in a whole crew of people. They have catering that they purchase locally. I was talking to one of the guys that was on the set for Killers of the Flower Moon, talked about all the lumber that they purchased at one of the local lumber yards so they could build some sets. So could be very beneficial to our community.
When they're in town, especially in these period pieces, our antique stores get just inundated because they need all the props that fit that era. So they were in there quite a bit. And another thing I want to go back to just quickly with the housing, if you want your house to possibly be used, there's a lot of intricacies that go into that. but the filmmakers are extremely meticulous, and they will go and they will take photos of everything, knickknacks that are on your shelves, just everything, because they have to take it down and put their own stuff in. So then when they're done,
it goes right back.
It goes exactly back, and the whole goal is to leave their house as they found it, or even a little better. So take that into consideration. It's like, oh, I don't want to give up my home, but it does pay very well, and they will put it back to where it was.
Good. Well, I just found that very interesting, which is yet another way that the city of Enid's working to generate revenue for our community. And I appreciate you doing that. I also asked you to bring over a few merchandise items. You can never have enough swag, right?
Exactly.
On anything. And I noticed you brought one of the shirts that says Enid on it, a license plate. I mean, I've been over next door in the store, and there's a lot of stuff over there. The cool quilt that's behind us, or throw, I guess it's called. But there's a lot of things that people can purchase and wear and promote Enid. You hear me say all the time, if we don't promote ourselves, nobody else is going to.
That's exactly right.
And I appreciate everything that you're doing to help us do that. I appreciate you being here this morning. Before we leave, I want to mention something that's coming tomorrow night, which is going to be over the top good. A couple weeks ago, I had Kyle Williams on the show, and we were talking about the tree. Well, now it's taken on a whole nother level. He was contacted by a group out of Texas that does drone shows. And they actually contacted him. These shows are between $60,000 and $100,000 to put on. They want to come and do that for free because they love our trees so much that they want to use some of that as marketing material for their shows later on. So we're pretty excited about that. We got all the approvals done, and tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, going to be 1,000 drones up in the air doing all kinds. And I'm not going to spoil it. Kyle's kind of told me what they're going to do. So I'm just going to leave it as what do they call it, a cliffhanger. You've got to show up to see it. Yes.
But the thing was, they originally said between 500 and 1,000. They weren't exactly sure, and then they just came out, I believe, yesterday and confirmed 1,000 drones are up in the air doing a Christmas light show like you've never seen before.
It's going to be tied to the tree. The music will be going on the tree. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. So that being said, I encourage everyone to show up early, bring a lawn chair. And they're also going to be filming while they're doing that. So who knows? You could show up on a movie someday.
Never know.
Never know, right? But it's exciting. Enid is doing a lot of stuff. I like to say we're a city on the move every single chance we get. So part of that's because of you and your team, and we appreciate it very much.
Well, what we like to say is we're kind of like the film crew for Enid. We don't really do this for any publicity for us. We do it to make the group that we're helping look better.
Exactly.
And so that's when we have successful events that come to town that we've had a little hand in, that's a pride thing for us, but we're not out there for the accolades. The accolades are going to go to those individuals and those groups that are actually putting on the events. Absolutely. Well, it's been another great show. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you. Once again, I remind you, don't forget to send in your questions. Ask Mason at enid.org. We'll do our best to answer all those questions as best we can. Go out and enjoy the holidays. Make sure you keep those real trees watered. We don't need any fires. But enjoy Christmas, and we will see you after the holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.